Hey everybody, it's time for Motivational Monday. Grab your cups. Let's go, Lady O.
Unstoppable.
Say I am unstoppable. Let me hear you say I am unstoppable. And let the horns play. Hey. Oh yeah. I heard that I would fail. Then I heard you won't prevail. Then I've heard all the things that I can't do. And then your strength.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. It's time for the Own Your Now show. And guess what? It's Motivational Monday. I am your host, Tracy Berry McGee, also known as Divine T.
And I'm your co-host, Yolanda Langford, and you know what they call me, Lady Yo.
Lady Yo, Lady Yo, Lady Yo.
Hey, we're making history ourselves, Tracy.
Yes, we are. We are at the Missouri Historical Society. How does it feel?
Historical,
Yes, it does.
rich.
Yes, it does.
It's filled with beautiful pictures and items from beautiful women that we're going to talk about.
Yes, they have so much history. You guys definitely need to realize the value of what we have here in our community. First off, I just got to start off with asking you, what's in your cup? What are you sipping on?
Well, you know, today's show is being sponsored by the Conley Financial Group, where they offer holistic insurance solutions for your business and personal benefit challenges.
Yes, they
You
do.
know, and sometimes we have those challenges in
Yes,
life.
we
So,
do.
you know, we filled our cups up, but I'll tell you exactly what I'm drinking.
What are you drinking?
House blend from Caldi's.
Caldi's. That's right. Love me some house blend.
The GOAT.
The goat.
The GOAT.
Well, you know what? I like the house blend, but today I have a dark roast. And let me tell you why I have a dark roast. Because just yesterday, we set the time back. And I just want to know, daylight savings time, did that impact you or what?
You know, I always say it does a little bit just because the sun comes up at a different time, it goes down at a different time, but I'll take an extra hour any day, honey.
Yes, any day, any day. Well, I used my extra hour not to sleep. I was up. That's why I got my dark roast. I was up. But speaking about being up and the challenges that we go through, I was really excited about the Missouri Historical Society. Now, I know that is a whole mouthful.
And we're used to saying that the
History Museum.
Yes, yes.
When you were growing up, did you take field trips to the museums when you were growing up?
You know, I did take a field trip to a museum. Of course, it wasn't in my small little town, but we always did take a field trip to go see the museum. And it was always just interesting to see all the artifacts. It was like
Yes.
just different eras, different times. And you kind of could bring yourself into that moment when they would talk about the specific things.
Yes, well, you know, I was born and raised here in St. Louis, Missouri. And so for me, it was really exciting to come here. So to be able to be here now, doing interviews and interviewing so many different people, it was really cool to see just a legacy of different type of exhibits, as well as just going up the steps, seeing the waterfall. I love the field trips, but also history. I've always loved history. Do you remember your history teacher?
I remember my favorite history teacher. It was Miss Van Norman. And I'll tell you why she was my favorite. You know, during school, you always get your history book, and it's kind of the same thing. You know, they go through the eras and through the time. But this one time in her class, they showed an African queen, and she had beautiful rings on her neck and earrings. And this young man told me, wow, Yolanda, you're as beautiful as an African queen. And that stood out for me. I'll never forget that day in history class.
Well, you know, speaking of history, guess what? Guess who we have on our show today? We have Cicely Hunter. She's the public historian of our African American History Initiative. Let me tell y'all something. We're going to get some lessons this week. This week, we're going to get some history lessons. Are you ready?
Absolutely. I'm ready.
I know the other thing about this week, y'all, I know you all see that we're on location. If you want us to be on location at your location next year, next season, because we're wrapping up our season, you better let us know, because it's just, I want to call it dope. It's so dope, as the kids say. It's so much fun to be able to be in a space that outside of the studio, that you can just see the people and connect, and that's what's going to be so great about this week. What are you looking forward to the most about
Well,
this
you
week?
know, I'm looking forward to talking about Josephine Baker.
Yes.
I mean, just the way she danced, her outfits. And, you know, I was always interested, you know, she adopted many children. So I want to hear some more about her story. And I'm sure we're going to find out things that we had no idea existed.
Well, you all have to tune in, because guess what? That's on Women Empowerment Wednesday. I'm looking forward to Annie Malone.
Okay.
She's going to talk about Annie Malone today. And I think I'm also looking forward to the ballads, the women in the ballads. That's on Friday. I cannot begin to tell you all about all the richness. We keep saying rich because that's what this is all about here. All of the different things that you will experience here at the Missouri Historical Society. So when we return, we'll get ready for our Own Your Now Cup of Affirmation, and our word of the day is sponsored by Caldy's Coffee.
I'm Cicely Hunter, public historian for the African American History Initiative at the Missouri Historical Society. Keep watching the Own Your Now show on the TV network.
And we're back. Everybody get ready. Grab your journals and write down the word history. The word today is history, because it's so important that you know your history. Also, you have to realize that you are history. Not only do you know your history, you know that you can make history. And the only way that you can make history is by being what, Lady Yo?
Your best self.
That's right. That's right. So everybody get ready to center yourself as we get ready for our Own Your Now song and meditation. It's by Lady Bree, and it's called Best Self. Take a deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. And we'll start with our left arm. Take it up slowly if you can. Reach for the sky.
We're making her story, Tracy.
We're making history. And bring it down. Let's take our right arms up. If you can, stretch it to the sky. And let's bring both arms up together as we center ourselves. Bring it down slowly, close to your heart. Can you feel your heartbeat?
Love it.
That's right, that's right. And then what do, Lady O?
Reach out to your strong friend.
Reach out to your strong friends.
Check on someone today.
Are you okay?
I'm well.
Thank you. I am too, because we're creating history. And then bring it in. Hug yourself tight. Give yourself a tight hug. That's everything. Release.
I needed that.
I did too, because you know I didn't get any sleep last night.
Well, I'm glad we took that moment then.
Yes,
Together.
we did. Yes,
Together.
we did. Speaking of moments, I know we have some vibrant vibes, some birthdays and exclusives.
Oh, we do. First, I want to say our Vibrant Vibes is being brought to you today by Wall Street.
Yes, the Wall Street Company. Love everything there.
We love everything there. Well, first I want to say, just in case she's watching, happy birthday, Alfre Woodard.
Alfre Woodard, happy birthday. What an amazing actress.
Absolutely.
She started off on Broadway.
On Broadway with For Colored Girls Who Consider Suicide When the Rainbow Wasn't Enough.
Yes, it's one of my favorite plays, one of my favorite books and movies. But you know what? I also liked her in Crooklyn.
Yes.
She was one of my favorite actresses. She has just been acting for so long, and she doesn't age one bit.
Oh, she looks great, and she does movies, and she does sitcoms. She's an all-around actress. So
Yes, she is.
happy birthday, just in case she's watching.
Yes, yes.
And now, you know, we have to have a vibrant vibe. My vibrant vibe goes out to all the science teachers, all those teachers that are out there helping the kids with their science, because today is National STEM Day.
Yes, it's all about science, technology, engineering, and math. You know, my husband's an engineer. Yes, but this is the thing. Girls celebrate Black STEM Day as well.
Absolutely.
You know, I think about when I was saying Black STEM Day because I was actually thinking about Cynthia. Do you remember Cynthia?
Absolutely. She is a scientist, and she also created some products.
Yes, she did. And she has Black Girls Do STEM. So shout out to Cynthia also with Black Girls Do STEM. It's all about National STEM Day.
I love it. I love it.
Yes. So tell me, what are we looking forward to next?
Our Vibrant Vibe guest, Cicely Hunter.
Wall Street Company is a family-owned business in the St. Louis Galleria that houses unique brands by women entrepreneurs. From waist beads to stylish handbags, we have special gifts for everyone. Our Boss Day event enables brand owners to showcase their products and connect with customers on a personal level. Stop by today and have an unrivaled shopping experience.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
As promised, we have Cicely Hunter. She is the public historian of our African American History Initiative here at the Missouri Historical Society. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I know you're going to give us a history lesson, but before we get started, tell us what's in your cup.
I have Caldi's House Blend in my cup this morning.
Caldi's House Blend. Well, you know, I always drink my coffee black. And speaking of black, speaking of initiatives, African American history. I want to talk to you about all the things that are happening here at the Historical Museum. But talk to us about, why do you feel that this is so important for our youth today?
It's so important because they need to know their history, that they need to be engaged so that we can continue to pass that along to the next generation and the next generation. And so it's all about coming together as a community, building and understanding our history and seeing that forward.
That's rich. That's rich.
Oh, I like that. That's rich. I like rich. Well, you know, I'm ready for the history lesson. Talk to us about Annie Malone.
So she was actually born to Robert Turbo and Isabella Cook on August 9th, 1869 in Metropolis, Illinois. So she was actually the 11th child of 12.
Wow.
That's a lot of kids.
Yes.
A lot of babies. Yes, and eventually her parents went on to pass away and she moved in with an older sibling. And it was in 1900 that she decided and saw that there was a gap in the market for Black cosmetology. And she was like, okay, this is my chance, this is my opportunity. So she actually developed Wonderful Hair Grower and sold it in Lovejoy, Illinois for about 2 years before expanding outward into St. Louis.
Wow. Wow.
That entrepreneur spirit, I mean, that had to be something, especially for that time, especially for a Black woman.
Yes, yes. When I think about entrepreneurship, that was rare for African American women, and to have a product that was specifically for us. So when you talk about entrepreneurship, what happened after that?
So 2 years later, she actually ventured to St. Louis, and she was actually residing on Market Street. And she went on to actually have franchise agents, which were essentially brand ambassadors that would go door to door.
Brand ambassador.
Yes,
Bring it to
brand
life.
ambassadors. And they would go door to door actually demoing that product on people. And that began to expand her market outward.
Well, I'll just tell you personally, I'm thankful for all the groundwork she did, because you know,
Yes.
now we have so many products and we can wear our hair so many ways.
Yes.
I know she was philanthropic. Talk to us about what she meant to the community.
Absolutely. So Annie Malone was dedicated to giving back. And so we saw that here in St. Louis. So she expanded her business outward. So I talked about being on Market Street. She went to Pine Street, and eventually she ended up in the Ville neighborhood. So
The Ville.
yes, a beautiful Black neighborhood that was dedicated to upward mobility and committed to being all about centralizing Blackness in that space. And so she developed Poro College, and the doors opened in 1920.
Hold on, she had a college?
Right.
Oh,
right.
yes.
Oh my goodness,
Yes,
this is a lesson. This
it
is
is.
a history lesson.
I love the fact that she was in the Ville community. And when you talk about, you see so many movies and different excerpts about who she is, but when you hear the truth, you know, the truth does not lie. So being a part of that community, talk to us about how that impacted everyone else in St. Louis.
Absolutely. So once those doors opened, we began to see the ways in which Black people who were not necessarily always invited into different spaces, but this was their home, this was their hub.
Yes.
And so we would see things like beauty supply shops, we would see rooftop gardens, there were classrooms, conference spaces, auditorium, it was a gymnasium, and there was so much more, an ice cream parlor,
Wow, yes.
bakery. You name it, it was there, and it was committed to centralizing Blackness and allowing them to come together in a gathering space.
This is so interesting. It's so rich. So you're the public historian, new position. How does this feel for you to be able to share these rich stories?
It feels amazing. I was here 6 years before getting this position, and to be able to come back to St. Louis and see this as my home, in a place where I reside, in a place that has such rich Black history, it's amazing.
Tell me, what stands out most when it comes to the story of Annie Malone?
So I would say the entrepreneurship, the philanthropist work, the self-ingenuity, and the ability to be able to allow not only just Annie Malone to succeed, but other Black women and men as well. We see a growth in clerical workers, factory workers, with the production of her institution. And so, as well as those brand ambassadors that I was talking about earlier, the amount of wealth that she generated for her community in the Ville and in St. Louis, that is what amazes me about Annie Malone.
So talk to us about, she has such a history when it comes to our community. How was she involved? How did the Annie Malone Children's Home come together?
So she was actually a contributor. She was on the board, and she was giving and donating money, that philanthropist work again.
Right.
And it was in the 1940s that they would eventually dedicate and name it after Annie Malone.
Wow, wow.
Well, you know, you've given us a lot of history, rich history, and I must say I've learned some new things, and I thank you for it. Tell us what your affirmation word is. What is that one word that gets you going?
Motivation. For Motivational Monday.
Okay.
Yes, and I would say that it is that creating a path, seeing how Annie Malone's story and embodying the foremothers and the forebears that have come before us and before me, and channeling that and continuing to do that work each and every day, despite the obstacles.
Despite the obstacles. I know we asked that affirmation word, and this is truly motivational for us. I want to ask you just really quickly, when did you fall in love with history?
Oh, goodness. It goes back. And I would say undergraduate. I didn't really understand that this was something that I could dedicate my life work to. And it just, you know, I was always taught that your gifts would make room for you.
Absolutely.
And so that's exactly what happened. My gifts made room for me.
Well, thank
Yes,
goodness.
yes, it has. Yes, it has. Well, we want to thank Cicely Hunter for coming in today, or us coming into her space,
Yes.
and us getting just a little bit of history. You'll receive more history this week. I promise. We promise.
Yes.
But stay tuned for the On Your Now flow. We'll be right back. Life is all about the journey. Life's curves, hitting the road fast or slow. Celebrations, anniversaries, and birthdays. Everything in life is about moving forward. Whatever direction you choose to go far, go in style. New or used, go with Fraser Automotive. So now it's time for our On Your Now flow. But before we get started, I just want you all to know, Cicely Hunter, she was everything. How did you feel about today?
Oh, just the story she told, it was just beautiful. But girl, she talked about something that's always important and we pay attention to, our hair.
That's right, that's right. I automatically think about NDR Reed's I Am Not My Hair, but today it was all about hair. It was all about giving back to the community. Speaking of giving back to the community, I want to ask you, I know you're not from St. Louis, but have you ever experienced the Annie Malone Parade?
I have. Ta-da! I did. I took my kids to the Annie Malone Parade, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I think they are back doing the live parade.
Yes, it's important that we realize the value of giving back. That's the one thing that stood out for me. But when we talk about hair, let's talk about the legacy of hair. When you were growing up, what was the one style you always wore?
I always wore my hair parted down the middle with 2 French braids going to the back. Very simple, very simple.
Well, we would have, people don't realize that we used to do hair in the kitchen. And so I would go to, my mom would take me to this lady's house, and she would press my hair with the pressing comb, y'all.
Oh my.
And I'd have to hold my ear, and many times my ear got burned. Did you ever get your hair pressed?
I did get it pressed, and they would always say, sit still, and I didn't burn you.
That's right.
It's
that's
just
right.
the steam. It's just the steam.
Yes. Well, I love the fact that we have this rich history here in St. Louis. If you all don't know anything, you should know that you can get the history here at the Missouri Historical Society. This week is going to continue with us having so many amazing guests, and that's what I'm excited about. I have learned so much in just one day. We're getting a history lesson every single day.
A rich history lesson.
Yes, that's what it's all about. Well, speaking of history lessons, I just want to know, what is your affirmation word for today?
Well, Tracy, my affirmation word is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. We talked about how the hair products got started, and our crown adorns our head, and it's part of
glory.
our beauty, inside beauty, but also our outward beauty. So my word is beautiful.
When I think about beautiful, I also think about the history of Forest Park and being able to come here and visit all the different sites. You all will hear about tours also. That's coming up, but you got to stay tuned for the entire week. But when I think about beautiful, I think about you because you're absolutely beautiful. You're glowing today, and your hair is absolutely lovely.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, when I also think about beautiful, I think about the On Your Now flow and how important it is for us to be motivational. So as you walk through the day, walk through the day and walk through today and the days to come. Remember, Motivational Monday is where we start, but how you end is what your history is all about. But any and every single day, make it beautiful. Until next time, keep sipping peace, love, and positivity.
And go out and get yourself some vibrant vibes.
And remember, tomorrow is not promised, so own your now.
I heard that I would fail. Then I heard you won't prevail. Then I heard all the things that I can't do. And then your strength arose in me and said, fight through.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back.
Okay, here we go, throw it.
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Nice.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Dad,
Just 1 minute, okay?
hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look,